What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Dario. This is my Shelby GT350, and in today's video I want to show you all the modifications that I've done to the car. I've done a video like this a few years back, but obviously a lot of things have changed and I want to give you guys an update. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright guys, and this is my 2019 Shelby GT350, and we can already tell from the exterior there's quite a few modifications. This is not the R model, but I do have the R splitter. So I would say we started in the front here. You can see this splitter is a lot longer than the GT350 splitter, the non-R splitter, because the non-R splitter basically stops right here. So you have probably 2 to 3 inches extra material right here. And I really added this just a couple months back to give the car obviously a more aggressive look in the front, but also to kind of balance out the rear wing, which we'll come to in a minute. But I absolutely love this. I wish I would have done this earlier. However, these are super expensive. If you are in the market for a GT350 R splitter, you know that these can cost around 2 grand. I think mine was like 1800. Is it necessary? We could argue this, but it looks so much better. And you guys let me know whether that's worth it to you or not, but to me it is. All right, and next up, I want to talk about my little dive planes here, canards, however you want to call them. These are from Varus Engineering. I also just put these on a few weeks back. I love the carbon fiber. This really gave the front of the car a really aggressive look, and I think that just made the front perfect. Also, sorry guys, I drive my cars, so it's a little bit dirty. And next up, we can't neglect the wheels. These are MP wheels. These are magnesium performance wheels. So these are obviously in bronze. They only have 3 colors at this point. I think there's bronze, silver, and black. I absolutely love these. I think they look amazing. They really gave the car a completely different look, because I did have black wheels on there, and while they look great, I think the bronze and the black just go really well. If you guys are interested in these wheels, I can make a separate video, but I lost about 10 pounds compared to the OEM wheels. 10 pounds a wheel of rotational mass, so that's 40 pounds overall, 40 pounds rotational mass. If you guys are into racing, this is huge. So I can only recommend you guys to get some lightweight wheels, whether they're forged aluminum or forged magnesium. I mean, obviously magnesium is going to run you a little bit more expensive, but these are so worth it. So since we're already looking at the wheels, obviously the red calipers are popping out, and I had these painted by my detail shop. They do a little bit of extra work there too. So I had these painted professionally, and then obviously they added the black Brembo. The GT350R came with the red calipers, but it had the white Brembo actually on there. So this is something that makes the car look a little bit different too. And as you can see, I also run Continental tires. These are the Extreme Contact Sport 2s. I'm a huge fan so far. They are super grippy, they inspire confidence, and they are throwing rocks like crazy into the wheel well area. I think that speaks for itself, how grippy they are. I really love these so far, but I want to hear from you guys. Have you had Continentals before? What are you running? I love these. Then next up, modifications. Let's see. I have this little blocker right here, so I don't have 2 million rocks flying through here and scratching the paint. Kind of deceives the purpose of the airflow, but I think every GT350 owner does something like that. Then I have these carbon mirror covers. I would have to check, but I think they're MMD or something. Not 100% sure, but I just like the carbon fiber because it matches this carbon fiber. So we have a few carbon fiber pieces across the exterior. I think it just looks really good. And next up, obviously, we got the big wing. This is the APR GTC 200, I believe it's called, and I absolutely love how this thing looks. This really changed up the rear of the car. Whether you like a big wing or not, I'm a huge fan. I wasn't for a long time, funny enough, but I absolutely love the looks of this since I put it on. And it just gives the rear of the car such an aggressive look. It's obviously motorsport, and I want to track the car one day, so it's definitely going to help with the downforce on the rear of the car. That's kind of why I mentioned, you know, I got the Varus front dive planes, and I also got the GT350R front splitter just to kind of balance out the car a little bit. The only other thing that I've added here in the front is some tint on the sight markers. I'm actually going to get some aftermarket sight markers here soon for the front and the rear, so look out for that. I definitely want to improve the look of that a little bit. But I think that's it from the exterior. Let me know if I missed something. You guys are probably going to notice something that I don't, but I think that's the exterior. Let's get inside the car and see what we got going on there. And as you can see, the first thing you'll notice is obviously these brown seats. I absolutely love them so far. I wish these pieces would have came in black, because obviously that stands out a little bit too much. I personally wanted a reclinable seat, so these have this action going on right here, so it's a bit of a pain to get my daughter in and out of the back, but I think they look phenomenal, they feel phenomenal. I had the comfort seats, I did not have the Recaros. If I had the Recaros, I probably wouldn't have done the switch, but I wanted something better than the comfort seats. I unfortunately had to make that compromise when I bought my GT350 because I wanted a black vehicle. I was very specific on what I wanted. I couldn't find one with the Recaro seats, so I had to get the comfort seats. However, I'm super happy how they turned out. I don't have any airbag lights, and I made a full separate video on these. If you guys are interested, go check that out. Next up, let's get in the car. We have the Dyna Performance forged carbon fiber steering wheel. I'm a huge fan of this. I should have done this way earlier. I absolutely love how this looks, and more so even feels, because this really inspires confidence. If you guys have a GT350 and you have that Alcantara steering wheel, Alcantara, whatever you want to call it, that steering wheel eventually will wear off. And I've had moments where I was slipping over the Alcantara. I tried to kind of refurbish it, but I could never really get it to where it was super grippy. And this steering wheel from Dyna Performance really changed up the looks of the interior, but more so even the driving experience for myself, because I never slip off this steering wheel and it just feels absolutely phenomenal. Next up, we have the shifter. This is a Racing shifter. I believe they went bankrupt, so you can't buy this anymore, at least not brand new. However, these are absolutely phenomenal. You can also get some aftermarket shifter from like Billet Works or other companies. I am a huge fan of getting an aftermarket shifter. The GT350 shifter from factory sucks. It sucks, it rattles, it's too light. So get something aftermarket, and I hope yours comes off easier than mine, because this was a pain to take off in the first place. I don't regret it at all. Get a weighted shift knob. This makes the driving experience so different. It just feels so much better. Also, I have a MGW shifter, a short throw shifter underneath. So this just feels so good. First and second on the stock shifter from the GT350 suck. So this is a huge improvement. Other than that, I really just have this little gimmick here, so I feel like I have a Lambo for poor people or something. And then I have some carbon fiber right here, carbon fiber right there, and I have this H3R fire extinguisher because I'm just paranoid and just want to have a fire extinguisher in the car in case something happens, or in case I see someone that their car is burning, I can help them. However, I also love the looks of it, so. The only downside is I can't move the seat forward anymore, so it is fixed in this position and it will not move. What else can we find in this interior? So over here you can see this is my Solar Performance throttle controller. So this routes to my gas pedal down there, and it basically just piggybacks off of the connection of the gas pedal, and it gives me full flexibility of how sensitive I want my gas to be. Basically, it opens the throttle body faster or slower depending on the gas pedal position and your settings right here. My next modification is a little bit hidden, but I like to have a black view camera in every vehicle that I own. I have one in the GT350 and I do have one in the GT. This is my favorite dash cam. I've worked with different companies, but this one works really well. I have one in the front and obviously one in the back. I personally like to have a dash cam in any of my cars because it just gives me that confidence when driving the car. Because if someone hits me or something crazy happens, I always have footage of it. And even if there's nothing happening and I'm just cruising around, this camera always records in 4K, so I always have some footage of the drive. So I believe that's it for the exterior and the interior. So all that's left is performance mods. And again, I want to apologize for not cleaning the vehicle because this engine bay is really filthy. I don't pop the hood that much because there's not too much to see, but I want to show you all the mods that I've done. So this right here is a Ford Performance air filter. I did have a JLT cold air intake at one point, but honestly, there's a lot of people saying that they don't do anything and they just look good, but they're really just heat soaking. And I can confirm that when I looked at my IATs. They were just going up, and honestly, it doesn't look that bad. So I just went back to my stock intake and just the improved Ford Performance filter. Next up, we have the Mishimoto coolant tank. I absolutely love how this thing looks compared to the OEM one. The OEM one, if you know any S550, it looks like a tumor and it's just absolutely ugly. So upgrade that, or at least get that cover to cover that tumor up because nobody wants to see that. Next up, we have a oil catch can that is sitting right here. This is from Ford Performance. It barely fits underneath here. There's some other options where it kind of locates somewhere here. It's not Ford Performance anymore, but I would have to look up the brands. But there's some that kind of move it here. I think that's a better option. I just bought this in the very beginning and then upgraded the coolant tank, so now it doesn't fit perfectly. However, it works. It collects quite a bit of oil, so definitely get this. For the driver's side, I've heard so many people that have it that it doesn't collect any oil, so I think it's just a peace of mind, maybe, but I wouldn't buy it. So I stuck with just the passenger side. Also, if you were paying attention, there's some extra wires here that are not there from OEM, and that's because there is a E85 harness, which I don't run much E85 ever. So it basically detects the amount of ethanol in the fuel line, and then it will adjust through this little controller here how much fuel is actually injected into the engine. So since E85 burns faster, it makes more horsepower, but that is something you need if you want to run E85. Otherwise, you can always get a tune, but this is more accurate. Also, this is my second engine. I had a Gen 2. If you know GT350's, the 2019 had the Gen 2, and mine blew up. So this is my second engine, and once I did the engine upgrade, I also got an intercooler upgrade. You probably can't tell much. Obviously, it looks like an intercooler. It sits right down here, but this is the Mishimoto intercooler. I'm hoping that this helps with, the cooling, obviously, of the engine, since my assumption is that's why mine blew up, because it wasn't properly cooled. So adding this is a little bit of peace of mind. And let me know if you guys have done anything to improve this, if you had any issues with your engine, but that's what I've been doing. Also, if you've been paying some attention, you might have noticed these camber plates. The GT350 did not come with camber plates. The R version did. However, I added these when I added my Ford Performance springs. So this car is lowered on the front and the back. When we added the springs, I also wanted to get some adjustable camber to make it easier to align the car, but also to have the adjustability when I want to track the car in the future. Also, I have a trickle charger because if you don't drive your car all the time, eventually your battery drains, and I have a trickle charger that is just hooked up to the battery, so that makes it a lot easier to charge the car without having to take this stupid cover off every single time. So this is it for what you can see from a first look, but if you look down here, you might be able to see that I have some long tube headers from Stainless Works. Absolutely love these. They're extremely loud. So I personally decided to go with the catted long tube headers because I think GT350's, especially with a stock catback, sound absolutely horrible if they are catless. So definitely get the cats if you're not planning to go with the catback as well. However, I have also added the Ratline catback from Stainless Works, so I got full exhaust from the engine all the way to the back. So I still stuck with the catted headers because I think it would just be too much if I took those out. Maybe I'll do that in the future, but for right now the car is absolutely crazy loud and I think we really don't need to do more. But let's see if you guys can see the exhaust from the back a little bit. The tips are definitely wider than the stock ones, so I've had a tough time with all the clamps on the underbody to align this exhaust perfectly multiple times, because when we got the engine replacement, obviously the exhaust had to come off. So aligning this is always a little bit tricky. But you can see here are the mufflers. And trust me, they are a lot smaller than the stock ones. I can probably do a full video on the headers and the exhaust to give you a little bit more of an insight. I had a few issues with this exhaust and it was a little bit of a pain, but in the end, this car sounds phenomenal and I'm happy with it. But yeah guys, I think I covered everything that I've done to the car. I might have missed one or two things, so if you guys notice something and you want to know more about it, please put it in the comment section below. But now I want to hear it from you guys. What else should we do to the Shelby GT350? Is there anything that's left? Because I'm kind of running out of ideas. There's just a few more things like the sight markers in the front and the back, as I mentioned, but I'm kind of running out of ideas. But in the end, it all comes down to personal preference, so maybe you don't like something on the Shelby. I still want to hear that in the comment section below, so please let me know. And for all the guys that are still watching, thank you so much for watching this entire video. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you like this kind of content, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay loud.